up, everybody? David Rodriguez here. In today's video, we're going to be going over functional training. What does it do? Does it do things? Let's find out. And so, functional training is typically wrapped up with the same terms that I've been discussing for the past couple days, which is like injury prevention, movement, and the idea and like flexibility and mobility. They're typically all wrapped up in a nice little package to promote, again, whatever it is that the person is doing, especially on Instagram. And so when I was first exposed to functional training and movement stuff, it was back in early 2015. And this was still during the time that CrossFit was still very popular. And I think that people had kind of written off this whole idea of like functional training and movement, things like that, until obviously now in 2019, you can't look at a single Instagram fitness post without seeing something being related to functional movement, mobility, injury prevention, flexibility. Like, it's almost now impossible. And you're almost going to get something to this similar degree of where it has a person on top of a Bosu ball, or they're doing something with a Bosu ball, or they're like juggling, or they're flipping things and they're catching it, and it has like all these fancy things that like circus people and actual like gymnasts and acrobats have known for like since the inception of these things, but now it's being rebranded and now it's popular and now it's cool to be like this. And so now, because of its popularity, methodologies are being pushed that if you're functional, this is functional now. You have a whole, like, Ido Portal, he's like, as far as I remember, he was like the very first to kind of be that way. He was like, if you're not moving, you're stupid, blah, blah, blah. And if you're not doing it our specific way, you're an idiot. Even more recently is Nadi Aguilar for functional patterns. He talks about how if you're not doing things their specific way, and if you see any other their training methodologies, then you're stupid. You're wrong. You're wrong for doing it that way. And their way, it's either their way or the highway. But everybody's obviously they want to say, but we want to educate people. Apparently not. So, and I'll be honest, I used to follow that same path. I used to believe that if you weren't doing anything that didn't involve a pistol squat, a handstand push-up, a muscle up, or pull-ups or push-ups on a Bosu ball, or something that wasn't like challenging your core, I used to think that you're an idiot. Well, it turns out I was an idiot. Because, luckily, now that I've done a little bit more research and under the tutelage and mentorship of Levi Memmer of Intensity Training Systems, he helped me to understand like what kind of like functional training is, or at least what it should be thought about in like better terms, as opposed to just painting broad strokes and saying, hey, this is functional fitness, and if you're not doing it this way, then you're an idiot. And then so, what are those ways? How should we actually kind of think about it? So when it comes to looking at functional fitness and what we should be doing, I personally believe it falls within the ideas of what are your goals, right? And this also goes for if you're if you're training people and you're training clients. And again, Levi Memmer taught me this, that you shouldn't try to make people conform to what you think your idea of fitness is. You are trying to understand from their perspective, what do they want? What are they trying to get out of it? What are they trying to achieve? And so you do the same thing with yourself, right? What are the goals that you were trying to achieve? So you can split yourself up into one or two categories. You can either be general or you can be athlete. Now, both of those paths are completely respectable. There's nothing wrong with either path that you take. But, so if we go and we look at general, right? So for general, you're probably just wanting to have a nice quality of life. You probably want to be able to play with your kids, throw a football, throw a baseball, run with them, play tag with them, something. I don't know. I don't have kids yet. I'll figure it out when I get there. But so, and then in your probably later years of life, you want to be able to do the same thing with your grandkids. You probably want to be able to pick up your grandkids without discomfort. You want to be able, again, to run with them, play with them, without being fatigued. You kind of don't want to be that grandparent that's like, oh, why don't you ever play with us? And you're like, oh, I'm old and I can't do anything. It's because you haven't really like set yourself up for a good quality of life. And then once you were super old, again, you just want to probably be able to sit up, stand, or sit up, sit down, squat, hinge, walk around at a reasonable distance without feeling a whole lot of discomfort or fatigue. So how can we kind of like achieve this? So we're not going to need any of this crazy, like super crazy, you see a dude out in the middle throwing rocks and stuff and like jumping and doing all this, like, no, like you probably just need to have your basics. Squat, body weight hinge, push, pull, and then this will become much more important down the road. It's still important even now, I think. Being able to kind of like have one leg stability, just being able to kind of hold yourself off one leg. Again, this is very vague, very, oh, I'm an idiot, I didn't even spell hinge right, look at that. Very vague, very general, but this, oh, and in combination, nutrition is going to, you know, I'm gonna put this, nutrition is also functional training. I don't care who you are. You don't have good nutrition, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And that goes for both general and athletes. So, we look at these things, right? Learn how to do them without discomfort with your body weight first, and then you can start moving on to weights, making you feel better, so on and so forth. Now, when we take a look at athletes, again, so now this is even more vague and more general. So if we're going down the athlete path, I like to follow functional training by 3 guidelines. 4, I guess if you include nutrition. But I've said this once on this channel and I'll keep saying it probably until the day I die. Maybe, maybe not. But, so 1 is, what are the demands? What are we trying to do in the sport? Are we running? Are we jumping? Are we throwing things? Are we trying to hit things? Are we trying to get one, like lacrosse, you try to get the ball from the net into the other net and you have to like flick it around. I don't know. What are the demands? What do you have to do? Second thing is, what are your, what is the intensity at which you have to do this? What are your intensity? How hard are you doing this? Like for soccer, right? Once you see the ball coming towards you, you are probably sprinting towards it to gain control possession of the ball and to kick it, boom, to somebody else or make a play, and then you kind of just jog from there. And if you're not the one who has the ball, you're probably jogging to your position or whatever that you need to be. Same thing, or as opposed to with football, right? Football, as soon as that ball is snapped, boom, you are off the line. You are going as fast as you can, as hard as you can for about 5 to 6 seconds. And then you get to rest for X amount of minutes. Tricking, right? Similar to football, we're kind of going balls out for about 5 to 6 seconds. Some of us extended into 10 to 14 seconds of combo time and distance covered. And then we get to rest for however long it takes for the rotation for us to get back, or if we're in a battle, however long it takes for our competitor to finish their pass. And then with that, rest times. So are we getting adequate, or are we allowed adequate amounts of rest in between demands and intensity, or are we going to have to push super hard for 5 to 6 seconds, only maybe get 30 seconds of rest, and then we immediately have to start going back out there and pushing again? So if you can take a look at these 3 things, for yourself or for your clients, this is what I believe to be a more reasonable and respectable way of talking about functional training instead of just rebranding everything under this is my methodology and if you don't do it right, you're stupid. So I hope this perspective kind of helps you. If you have questions, concerns, complaints, thoughts, ideas, I'd love to hear them. This is David Rodriguez, Stomped Tricking. Follow Stomped Tricking on Instagram at stomped.tricking. If you want to follow me, hotrod_intricate33. Have a good day. Hope y'all learned something. Peace.